Hi, my fellow Americans. I'm Dr. Stephen Clark Bradley, and this is what I think. This is our final video in the series of The Color Revolution has begun, and they are protecting evil Joe Biden, corrupt Joe Biden, and trying to destroy our wonderful President, Donald J. Trump. I wanted to use this last video of this series to really kind of just review what we're going through and to calmly just say, look at what's before us. My fellow Americans, do we realize what we're doing? Do we realize what we're up against? Do we know the forces that are arrayed before us? But believe me, the forces we present as the American people are far bigger than anything this corrupt government can present against us. A force of American people they're no match for us if we really believe that we want to keep our country free, that we want to keep our country strong, honest, prosperous. Because if these people are allowed to win, my fellow American brothers and sisters, it's over. I mean, it's over. This is the story of an evil man who doesn't deserve to be your dog catcher, let alone your president. A man in 47 years who did nothing but write racist laws against black people, who plagiarized other people's speeches, who now we find has skimmed money off of other governments in corrupt money laundering schemes, and who worked with China. Took money from China, our greatest enemy. As a matter of fact, China today has stealth technology. And you know who stole it from us? The very same company on which Hunter Biden sat on the board. And believe me, Hunter Biden wouldn't be there if his father didn't want him there with his own influence as Vice President of the United States. It sounds like a novel, doesn't it? This can't be real. But believe me, it's staring us in the face right now. This is what's before you. My American brothers and sisters. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you hate Donald Trump. I don't care if you love him. All of us will eventually pay a dire price if we put this man and Kamala Harris and the Democrats in charge of our government. There will be nothing left as we know it. We won't recognize our country ever again. And once it's brought in, and once those seeds take root, and once they blossom into a socialist dystopia, you'll never get rid of it. And you'll be, I can say, welcome to the North American Venezuela. Right now, Twitter and Facebook are saying that they're banning the information and calling it an infringement on their policy as hacked material. This is not hacked. This is material that tells the truth. Why are they so afraid of it? Because these people want Joe Biden to win. All right? They want Joe Biden to win. The leaders of Twitter, the leaders of Facebook, Zuckerberg, all of them, they hate the government of the United States and the Constitution because they love tyranny and they want to control us. They want to tell you what you can read, what you cannot read. Here's what Joe Biden wants us to believe. Okay? The media wants us to believe it was hacked material, and we know it wasn't. Here's what Joe Biden wants you to believe. He wants you to believe that he had no interest in knowing what his son was up to, even though he's the big guy. All right. Joe Biden said his son, Hunter, had never mentioned anything about his work in Ukraine or in China. Now we find out also, same thing went on in Kazakhstan. Who knows where else? Terrible. Do you find that hard to believe? I certainly do. When I see now what's coming out, how a man went from nothing to a very wealthy man in the government. How's that happen? They don't make that much money. because he's corrupt, and he is a money launderer, and he's basically a godfather. Really, if you think about it, he's a Michael Corleone of the Biden crime family. That's what he is. And he wants to be your president. Of all the things I've heard Donald Trump accused of, when it really comes out, and it's an obvious, eye-opening, clear as can be, truth from emails that were written. They weren't made up. And yet, the left, the Democrat-Socialists, Adam Schiff, the media, Twitter, Facebook, it's not true. When it's right before our eyes. We have the videos of Biden denying he had ever talked to his father, that he had ever met with anyone from Burisma or from China about business. All lies. It's been proven. But Joe Biden wants you to believe it's not true. Today, technology in the Chinese military, which was stolen from us, exists in China because of Joe Biden while he was vice president. Don't they call that treason? Didn't they used to shoot people for stuff like that? And he wants you to vote for him. The scary thing, the Department of Justice knows all about it and said nothing. And 28 million people have voted now, knowing nothing about this. How many of them would have changed their mind now if they were told early? I think that we are arrayed by traitors. And I think there's so much more than meets the eye. I think Donald Trump was elected to stop all this. And now we're willing to throw Donald Trump out and put it back in? Are we crazy or what? I can tell you, America, if you throw Donald Trump out of the White House and you put in this corrupt godfather of a crime family who is a money launderer and put him to replace Donald Trump, who gave us the best economy, who's been nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes, who is a great man, who loves the American people as they've never been loved before, who gave up everything to come and suffer great insult. If we throw him out and put in this ratty old man who can no longer think, and when he could think, only thought about enriching himself off of the power that he had as the vice president of the United States, then we don't deserve America anymore. If you're willing to throw it all away for a party, for the Democrat Party who wants to make us a socialist nation, then that's what you'll get. And that's what we will deserve. Freedom is not free. Freedom is not automatic. And freedom can die. We're about 14 days away from deciding if we want freedom to live on and flourish, or if we want freedom to die. What we are looking at today is national suicide. Are you willing to commit national suicide? How much do you love your children? If you love your children, you will definitely vote for Donald Trump. You won't vote for Joe Biden. You won't vote for Kamala Harris. And you'll throw the Democrats out because they have no good plans for you. Look right now. They're trying to blame the Republican Party because there's been no new stimulus bill passed. Everything that the Republicans have, they've offered $1.8 trillion, $2.3 trillion. And Nancy Pelosi says no. She wants to have things in there that have nothing to do with coronavirus, with COVID. She wants to even have money for abortions. She wanted, all kinds of things. And she wants to have money for marijuana research. What's that got to do with you and me? Those of us who need a job, who aren't getting paid anymore, who need that $1,200 check again. She doesn't care, but it's the Republicans' fault. Even though they're the only ones offering anything. The Republicans want everything to fit into the coronavirus situation. But no, she has to think about her friends and her liberal allies and put the American people last, as the Democrat-Socialist Party always does. They do not care about you. Joe Biden doesn't care about you. Joe Biden cares about Joe Biden. It would not be difficult for the media to do its due diligence and to find out the truth behind this. But they say, well, we can't let the people know about this because it can be damaging. Of course it's damaging. It destroys the Joe Biden presidential campaign because it shows him to be a crook, a criminal, a money launderer. Of course it's damaging. It would not be difficult or complex for the New York Times, the Washington Post, any of the network media, any of the outlets to quickly do their due diligence and research and verify the New York Post report about Joe Biden and his pay-for-play scandal with his son Hunter Biden. It wouldn't be hard. They just don't want to do it. You know why? Because it proves Joe Biden guilty. They only want one thing. They want Donald Trump defeated. And they don't care if it's good for the country, if it's good for you, if it's good for your children, if it's good for the future of the nation or not. The stupid media, they have no brains. They don't realize that the socialists come in, everything they're doing, being able to do everything at will, to lie, to cheat, to gossip, and to condemn without proof. All that will be gone. You think the socialist government would put up with that? You really think so? You think there'll be freedom of speech if they win? Will there be freedom of anything? It will all be obey. Do as we say, not as we do. That's what Joe Biden's saying. I can go out, I can make money on the side as vice president with my authority and with my name and with my position, but you cannot. If you do it, you go to jail. If he does it, oh well, he's vice president. That's not freedom. And that's not why we were established as a nation. That's not what our founding fathers wanted for America. They want everybody to have freedom. They want everybody to have a voice. They want everybody to love freedom and to have a constitution that stands up as a bulwark, as a security, as a foundation of a nation based on freedom, prosperity. We have a great decision before us. I've already made mine. I think you can tell by the look on my face. Have you? Where are you right now mentally, spiritually, emotionally for November 3rd? The fate of this nation is in your hands. None of us are going into this blindly. From the top guy in the government down to the lowly worker on the street, we all know what we're voting for or what we're voting against. We're going into this election on November 3rd with our eyes wide open. If America chooses to put in Joe Biden and to throw out the greatest president in my lifetime, Donald J. Trump, we don't deserve to be a great nation anymore. And believe me, we will not be. We will be broke. We will have no more money, no more liberty, no more voice, and no more hope. Joe Biden will destroy America. Some of you love Barack Obama, but do you remember when you didn't have a place to work? When you got thrown out of your house? Do you remember when you had to work more than 2 or 3 jobs just to survive? Yes, you say, well, right now the economy's terrible. Of course, that's nobody's fault. That's not the Democrats' fault. That's not the Republicans' fault. That's not Donald Trump's fault. That's China's fault. They allowed the world to be infected with COVID, the China virus, the Kung flu. But it's coming back. We're down to 7.8% unemployment, and it used to be 15, 16%. Donald Trump saved the nation. Yes, he had to stop it. But because he refused to listen to all the stupid advice to close it down eternally, in perpetuity, that he's bringing the nation back, and we're opening up again today, and we're doing well. If we're willing to throw that away, we don't deserve to have America anymore. America is a sacred trust. America was given to us, bequeathed to us from our ancestors, our founding fathers. It's something that we can either hold on to and cherish and love, or we can repudiate and destroy and throw away because we're tired of working for ourselves and we want somebody else to pay us for do nothing. That's what socialism is. Great promises. You know, it's like snake oil. Here's what ails you. Take a swig of that and you won't hurt anymore. You know why? You'll be dead. Somebody asked me once, do you mind getting older, Mr. Bradley? And I said, no, I mind not getting older. And they said, why do you mind not getting older? And I said, because if you're not getting older, you're dead. Only dead people don't get older. Same thing about everything in life. Maybe you got problems. Maybe you got difficulties. Maybe you got fears. But the only people who don't have those are dead. But believe me, when they were alive, they had the same problems, fears, concerns, struggles that we have today. But we have a great nation. We have a great president. We have great people. And we have to think clearly. Before us is a great challenge. And as we see the left using the media, everything as a weapon against us, using people who are angry on the street as a weapon against us, we cannot let this take place. This color revolution is breaking forth even now. It started last week when they banned us from even writing or reading anything about New York Post revelations about Hunter Biden's emails. We see now that the FBI had the computer since last December, almost a year ago, in 2019, and said nothing. Did they forget? Of course not. And you can know if the revelation didn't come out from the New York Post, they would still not have said anything as well, because they are un-American and they are traitors. Christopher Wray needs to be fired, and I'm so sad to say I am. William Barr needs to be fired too. He doesn't deserve the post. If Christopher Wray knew about it, William Barr knew about it. And if William Barr knew about it, he needed to tell the president, which would have exonerated him from his terrible fake impeachment proceeding. These people are already taking on the color revolution. We will see the military get involved as well. How many of his former generals have turned their back on the president when he's done so much for our military? We need to stand up. If we do not stand up, we will not be Americans anymore. We'll be socialists. And the word socialist and American cannot exist together. They're just impossible. It's an oxymoron. They don't fit. They're not mutually exclusive. They don't fit together. What are you going to do, America? We can't vote for a man who thinks about himself more than he does you. He may look like this great, wonderful grandfather. He loves the American people. He doesn't love you. He doesn't love me. And we shouldn't love him. Vote for Donald Trump. He does love you. And more than anything, he loves the United States of America and our Constitution. I hope these videos help you. Do the right thing, America. It's really all up to us. God bless America.